Welcome back. Last episode, we stored a name and a row in variables and printed them out. Every value we used was text, but Python handles more than just text. And today, we're going to sort out exactly what kind of data you're holding because mixing it up is one of the most common mistakes beginners make. Let's look at the main types you run into constantly. First, text, which Python calls a string. String are always wrapped in quotes, single or double, doesn't matter. Just be consistent. Next, whole numbers, called an integer, or int for short. No quotes around a number when it's meant to be used as a number. And for numbers with a decimal point, that's a float. Then there's a type that only holds one of two values, true or false. That's a boolean, or bool. No quotes, and notice the capital T. That matters. Lowercase true isn't valid in Python. Now here's the part that trips up almost every beginner at some point. Watch what happens when a number gets wrapped in quotes. Type error can only concatenate string, not int, to string. That error is Python telling you very directly, I can't add a number to text. The quotes around 1999 turned it into a string, text that happens to look like a number, but isn't one as far as Python's concerned. This exact mistake is incredibly common when reading data from forms, spreadsheets, or files, because that data often comes in as text, even when it looks numeric. So how do you actually check what type something is instead of guessing? There's a built-in function for exactly that. Type parentheses tells you exactly what you're holding. And if you need to convert it, Python has built-in functions for that too. Float converts text into a decimal number. There's always int for whole numbers and string to go to other direction. Turning a number into text, which you'll need constantly when combining numbers into printed sentences. Let's confirm the relationship between all of these by checking a few types directly. Four values, four different types. And now you can verify any of them in one line instead of guessing based on how something looks. We've now got the four data types you'll use constantly: string, int, float, and boolean, plus type. To check any value and conversions to fix one type into another, let's put all of it to work and build something that actually uses every type at once, a contact card script. Name type class string, age type class int, subscribe type class bool. Notice that phone is stored as a string. Even though it's made up entirely of numbers, that's intentional. We don't perform math on phone numbers, so they're better treated as text. Doing this also avoids issues, like losing a leading zero. Choosing the right data type may seem like a small detail, but it can make a big difference in how reliable your code is. Quick recap. String holds text, int holds whole numbers, float holds decimals, and boolean holds true or false, also known as bool. Type parentheses tells you what you're holding, and int, float, and string convert between them. And a value that looks like a number isn't necessarily one. Quotes are what decide that. We've been working with text this whole time. Names, roles, phone numbers, but we haven't actually done much with it beyond printing it as is. Real text data is rarely clean. It's got extra spaces, inconsistent capitalization, formatting that needs fixing before it's usable. Next episode, we clean it all up, strip, replace, split, and a handful of other string methods that turn messy input into exactly what you need. See you in episode 3. Subscribe and hit that like button for more.